Ortiz into deep right field. Back is Sheffield. We'll see you later tonight.
Meek deals. Base hit to right field. Here comes Richardson. Here's the throw from Markakis. Richardson is safe. Derek Jeter ends his final game with a walk-off single.
1-1 for Tyson. Batista with a drive. Deep left field. No doubt about it.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Chasing 2 podcast. I'm Blake Frazier alongside Dylan Smith. And I'd just like to mention that unfortunately we had some technical difficulties. We couldn't put episode 11 on YouTube. But if you want to go check it out, it is on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean. And of course, before we do with every single episode, we're looking for writers for our new website, chasing2.com. If you want to write about your favorite team or your favorite player, definitely a fit for you. If you want to get some experience in the sports journalism industry, hit us up and we'll get you on board. Dylan, before we kick things off, your LA Lakers made the finals for the first time in a long time. They're going to be playing the Heat. How exciting was that for you?
Well, I'm very excited, obviously. I mean, it's been, oh man, it's been a long
2010?
2009.
2009, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's been a long time, well, at least as a Laker fan, it's been a long time. But you know what? We're back. We're gonna win it all. One of my best friends is a Heat fan, so it's gonna be a little tension there for, I'll say, a couple of days.
You got some cashola on the series or what?
Not right now, we don't, but we'll see. We've already planned out, or we're gonna watch the games and do our thing. So
that's exciting, man. Ever since they got LeBron, it's been an expectation of going to the finals. And what's it? Is this year 2 of LeBron?
yes.
Yeah, so year 2 of LeBron, and he got into the finals. So hats off to the Lakers. I got them in 6 games, and I think they're going to get it done. But somebody will find a way to criticize LeBron James some way. But hopefully he gets his ring. But we're talking about the playoffs now.
What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me?
September absolutely flew by. We're almost in October, and we're going to start in the AL. The number 1 seed Rays are going to be going up against the number 8 seed Jays. The Rays won 6 of 10 matchups this year. All 6 wins were 1-2 runs, so a very close series. Nate Pearson is going to be pitching out of the bullpen for the Blue Jays. It was a very interesting when the Blue Jays Game 1 starter came out. It was Matt Shoemaker and not Hyun-Jin Ryu. What was your thoughts on that decision?
Well, Shoemaker throws that splitter. Obviously, he's been hurt lately, but that splitter will be good against those lefties.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, he has been hurt, so it is a wild card. I feel like Taijuan Walker's expected to go Game 3 as well, so both those guys are wild cards.
Yeah,
you don't know what you're going to get from them, but then you got Ryu in the middle, so it might be, if we lose Game 1, we have our ace going Game 2 to keep it alive, or if we get through Game 1 and with Snell, then Ryu's right there to end it.
Yeah.
So maybe, having Ryu in that second hole is the best thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that's what Toronto feels.
Yeah, so they're just going over the pitching matchups. You got Shoemaker versus Blake Snell, Ryu versus Glasnow, and Walker versus Charlie Morton. And everybody knows, we've talked about in the podcast, how bad the Blue Jays are at Tropicana Field all time since 1999 when the Rays broke into the league. They're 76 and 158. Just not good. It's been a house of terrors for the Toronto Blue Jays. But this playoffs, it's a unique season. The Blue Jays are very young. They got a lot of players making their postseason debut. So I think they're going to be going into this series with house money. They don't really have any pressure. There's nothing to lose. I think the Blue Jays come out of here in 3 games. What do you think?
I think the Rays are going to take it in 2. When you match up Snell, Glasnow, Morton,
mm-hmm.
It's hard to win 3 games, especially against a team that you've struggled against. I know they've played close games, but they haven't been able to put them away. So I wouldn't feel comfortable if I was a Blue Jays fan. Obviously, this might be the hardest series that you guys would have to face, because I think the winner of that you'd face
the Indians and the Yankees.
No, I believe it's the White Sox series, right?
No, it doesn't get reseeded actually. They're in a bracket.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in a bracket with the Indians and the and the Yankees. So they play the winner of that. So definitely.
Okay, so if you got through the Rays, then you have to match up with Bieber, Carrasco, and Plesac.
See, it doesn't get any easier. Definitely not.
Yeah,
No.
so you definitely got the hardest pitching matchup side.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be difficult, but yeah, I think the Rays will get through it. The Rays versus the Indians would be a very interesting series. Now that I'm thinking about it, with the board there,
100%.
because you're gonna get Bieber and we'll just say they stick with the same thing: Snell, Carrasco, and Glass now, and then Plesac versus Morton. That would be a
Very
low-scoring
solid.
series, you'd assume.
Very solid. Yeah, let's hop into that Indian series. The Indians and the Yankees, they didn't play each other all season, with the Yankees being in the East and the Indians being in the Central. But when you look at this pitching matchup, game one, it's definitely going to be must-watch TV with Garrett Cole and Shane Bieber on the mound. We'll get to Bieber more later on in the episode. I'm talking about his cool award that he won today. You got Tanaka and Carrasco game one. And the Yankees' third game is to be determined, but I'm going to guess it's going to be Devi Garcia against Zach Plesac. Overall, what is your thoughts on this matchup?
I think the Yankees have been a disappointment all year. So I'm just going to get right into it. I have the Indians in 3.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees will scrape a game, but they're banged up. I know that they've gotten their guys back now, but ever since I think they started off like 14, I want to say like 13 or 14 and like 5 or something.
Yeah, it was something crazy.
I don't know. And since then, they've been bad. I understand they had injuries, but they really their bullpen is supposed to be the super pen. Hasn't done anything either. They've blown so many games. I don't feel comfortable with the Yankees right now. Originally, I had Yankees-Dodgers World Series.
So did
I.
I.
Dodgers over the Yankees.
I had the Yankees winning the World Series. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. This team.
I think something. I feel like something's off. I don't know. I don't know if it's just this isn't their year, but they do have a lot of free agents too. They're gonna have to revamp their whole rotation.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have to revamp the whole rotation. Tanaka's gone, Hap's gone, Paxton's gone. I know Paxton has been hurt, but then you got LeMahieu. And that might be it, but it's still a lot.
Brett Gardner might be a free agent too.
Yes, Brett Gardner's a free agent also.
So I got the Indians in 3 games too. Like you said, the Yankees, outside of a late 10-game winning streak to kind of close out the season, they went out and lost 3 or 4 to the Jays. Then they lost 2 or 3 to the Marlins. I get those games didn't really matter. Well, I guess it kind of did matter. The Blue Jays won last night against Baltimore. Blue Jays would have been the 5 seed playing the Indians. So like that's how much it could have changed. And then the Rays would have been playing the Yankees, which would have been a terrible matchup for the Yankees because the Yankees lost 8-10 to them to the Rays this year. So that they maybe caught a break there.
Yeah, but look who they did their damage against in that 10-game win streak. It was Boston and Baltimore.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they've played 20 games against Boston and Baltimore, and that's basically why they're in the playoffs. If you really think about it, they haven't been good against any good teams.
No, yeah, I agree. And then you're going to have Tristan McKenzie coming out of the bullpen too. He started some games for him. He's had some electric moments. I could see him maybe piggybacking with Plesac as kind of a 1-2 punch in game 3 if it goes that far. But I got the Indians in 3. We both got the Indians in 3 for that matter. Let's hop over to the Twins and the Astros. The Astros limped into the playoffs. They have not been a good team down the stretch here for close to a month now. This is gonna be a quick series, like you mentioned last series. I'm gonna get right into it like you did last series. I got the Twins sweeping this series. I just don't think that the Astros have enough pitching to keep pace with this potent Twins lineup. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that the Astros, obviously the Angels and Seattle are on their back ends towards the end of the season.
Yeah. And
luckily for them, 2 teams that struggled early couldn't make it all the way back. Like we were talking off camera, Angels got it down in the last 3 games somehow, some way. They have the best record through September, I believe.
Yep.
So somehow, some way, the Angels came all the way back after starting like 6-15 or something.
Yeah.
So, I think the Astros. I mean, no Verlander. Their bullpen's banged. They have no Azuna.
Yeah.
Joe
And
Smith opted out.
and their stars have just been not good. Like Altuve is like what, a 305 career hitter. He's hitting like 130 or something like that. Like it just got.
I think 130 is a little
No,
low.
I'm sorry.
I think it's like 210.
Sorry,
I think it's like 210.
I meant to say 230. So but the point is though, like a lot of the guys are just hitting way below their career averages, and it just, you can tell that it's just not translating to wins. What do you got in this series? You got the Twins?
I do have the Twins, but I think in
Yeah.
3 games.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me if, they are a championship team. They've been there. They've done it. It wouldn't surprise me if they turned it on and, the Twins, though they're a really good team, they haven't done it. I think they've lost like 13 straight playoff games.
Hey. They're not playing the Yankees though this year, so they caught a break.
Yeah. No, you're right, but I mean, they still. I think it's like 13 straight losses in the playoffs. So
they haven't won since 2002. I think Moneyball. That was their last series win.
Yeah.
Something crazy. It's been a long time. The last series in the AL we'll hop over to is the Athletics and the White Sox. The White Sox lost 8-10 to close out the season. Like, I thought they had the division on lock, but it was just kept flip-flopping, and they needed 3 wins, I think, the last 10 games of the year, and they only got 2. So they went on quite a slide. Luzardo is going to be open up against Giolito, Bassett, I don't know how to say that, against Bassett against Keuchel, and then the last 2 games are to be determined. What is your overall thoughts on this series? The White Sox, a very exciting team.
I think, even though, they've lost, 8 of 10, I'm going to say it right now. I think the White Sox might be going to the World Series against the Dodgers.
Oof.
They're exciting, man. And
they are.
They did get Carlos Rodon and Aaron Bummer back. Mm-hmm. And the Crochet kid.
Yeah.
That kid is nasty.
So
that bullpen's starting to look a lot.
You mentioned he looks like a kind of like a Billy Wagner from the left side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got similar mechanics.
He's disgusting. So
yeah.
I've seen ton of the A's. I watched the A's a lot.
Yeah.
So I know what they're made of, and they're not going to be any slouch. But they do not have Matt Chapman.
Yeah,
he's out for the year. So
I don't know
how's
Jake Lamb doing so far there? Is he doing good?
No idea. I haven't checked up on him.
Yeah, so we'll have to maybe check about that later on. I got the A's in 3. I think it is going to go 3 games. I think the White Sox are really good. This flies in my face, but it should be a really good series. It's definitely going to go the distance. Like you said, I can easily see the White Sox winning this series too. I'm just going to go with the A's. They got a little bit more experience in the playoffs. This is the first time that the White Sox have been in the playoffs since 2008. So I'll give the edge to the A's in that department. Let's hop over to the NL matchups here. You got the 1 seed Dodgers up against the 8 seed Brewers. And 3 days ago, the Brewers got some terrible news. Corbin Burns, who's been on a roll for them on the hill, he's going to be out for the rest of the season with an oblique strain. He probably would have been the game 1 or game 2 starter if I had to guess, but now you're going to have to rely on guys like Chase Anderson and this Lindblom guy. Like I just don't see this being a series. I got the Dodgers winning in 2 games. I think this is just not a good matchup.
Yeah, I agree. I got the Dodgers in 2. You got Buehler and Kershaw on the mound, though. Buehler's been banged up as well and kind of battling through his own stuff. I just, Woodruff's going to have to put the team on his back to get that game 1 win.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's very capable. He's very capable of doing it. If if Milwaukee won game 1, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think ultimately the Dodgers do pull it out. But I would say 2 games. I do think they're going to win.
Well, maybe Christian Yelich turns the clock and is his MVP self. Like, he hasn't been very good all year. Maybe he looks at the playoffs. Maybe he has a breakout playoffs. I don't know. I think the Dodgers are going to be too much for the Brewers to handle, and I think they're going to.
I'll tell you what. If the Dodgers lose to to the Brewers, Dave
Oh.
Roberts' job is on the line, I would say.
But like, would you look at it like it's a best of 3? Like anything could happen.
Dude, they've won 8 straight NL West titles,
Yeah.
and they've gone to the World Series twice and lost.
And they went out and got Mookie Betts this year, and obviously
Yeah.
David Price opted out. But let's hop
I
into
just think at that point, I think Roberts was already on the line last year, and then they said we're bringing him back.
Yeah.
And now, if I just think the Dodgers would be like, you know what,
time for a change. Yeah,
time's ran out.
Yeah, no, I agree. The Dodgers have definitely had a lot of opportunities to get the job done and have failed time and time again. Let's hop into the Padres and the Cardinals. Mike Clevenger, Dinelson Lamet out. Huge blows for this Padres team. You went out and got a lot for Clevenger to pitch in these situations, and he ends up getting hurt in that Angels start. Just a tough blow. So now you're looking at Paddock game 1, maybe Davies game 2. Garrett Richards, is he maybe gonna start? I don't know. But for the Cardinals, you're gonna have Wainwright, Flaherty, and I don't even know how to say this. Kwang Hoon Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been really good. He's 3-0 with a 1.62 ERA this year. So, like, what's your thoughts on Clevenger and Lamet being out?
Well, I mean, obviously big blows. That offense has been pretty elite, but not, the last 15 games or so, they themselves have kind of gone on a little slide.
Mm-hmm.
Tatis hasn't been the first month Tatis.
Yeah.
He's in a little slump, but Manny Machado has been great.
Oh yeah.
So, and Hosmer is completely, having a turnaround year at this point. So, I could see the offense just
outslugging
taking care of business. Yeah, taking care of business. The Cardinals don't really. They lost to Zuna, which is a big bat for them, and I don't feel that the Cardinals are anything that's gonna take over this Padres team.
You think the Padres will be okay in this series without Clevenger and Lamet?
This series, yes.
Yeah,
the next series, if they have to play the Dodgers in the next series, I don't see it happening. Yeah, I think it'll be a good series, but they need Clevenger back. They need Lamet back.
I got the Padres in 3 games. What do you got them in?
I have the Padres in 2.
Okay. So you got the
Padres. I think Flaherty will shove. But I think the Padres will win a late one.
Okay. Then we're going to hop into the Cubs and the Marlins here. Like we mentioned last episode, this is going to be the first time that they're in the playoffs since 2003, the Miami Marlins, that is. And that year they won the World Series. So pitching matchups, I'm going to guess Kyle Hendricks is going to go game 1. I think he's got the most experience. He's taken the ball from them in the past. And then the other side for the Marlins, Sixto Sanchez is probably going to start game 1. Maybe Alcantara game 2, Lopez game 3. I butchered that name, but whatever. And then you're going to have Darvish. For the third Cubs starter, would you start John Lester or Jose Quintana?
I think I'd have to go John Lester. I mean, he's got the experience.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, even though he's older, it's John Lester. I mean, you're going to – you know what I mean?
Just don't put anybody on first base.
Yeah.
Would you put Quintana in the bullpen then in this series? Just get some extra length?
Yeah,
maybe?
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure they'll have maybe I don't know if Chatwood. I think Chatwood's back, right? So
yeah,
I'm sure Chatwood would be in the pen.
Yeah.
They had so. I don't know. Craig Kimbrell, let's see if he gets even any time in the playoffs.
He's been a train wreck.
I don't think he's been closing for them. I think it's been lefty. What's his name? Ryan?
Ryan Tepera?
No. It's going to bug me. I have to look it up.
Lefty.
One sec. I'll tell you right now. It's going to bug me. Kyle Ryan. Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
You know who that is?
No, I do not know who that is.
Let's see if he's been closing games. I might be completely off on this, but like every time I'm watching some highlights or if I'm watching a game, I feel like he's in the ninth inning for them. He's 1-0. Oh, he's got 5.17 ERA. Maybe I'm completely off on this. Saves. He has 1.
Yeah.
I have no idea who's been saving games. Maybe it's been Kimbrel then.
He hasn't been very good.
Or maybe it's been Jeffers. Has it been Jeffers?
Jeremy Jeffers? Maybe. Yeah, he's closed games in the past. He did for the Brewers at least. I don't know if he closed games for the Cubs.
He has. Yeah, he's their closer right now. He has 8 saves in the last
Okay.
game.
Yeah, that's pretty good then. 8
So
saves.
closer by committee.
Yeah.
Maybe every time I'm watching those highlights, they're just up and kicking people's ass or something.
Yeah.
That's why Kyle Ryan's in the game.
We talked about Jake Lamb here just quick. He's hitting 270 for Oakland A's, so he's been a pretty decent fit after only hitting 116 with the Diamondbacks. But I got the Cubs sweeping this series. Like, what do you got?
I have Cubs in 3.
Okay.
I mean, I've counted out Miami all year. So
yeah.
at this point,
yeah, you gotta give him a game. Gotta give him a game, I guess.
Yeah. And those young pitchers have been shoving. So,
they have.
all it takes is one really good, pitching matchup or pitching performance, and you get yourself a win. So I'm not going to count them out anymore. I counted them out all season. So I'm going to give them at least one game against the Cubs.
And the last series we'll get into is the Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds. The Cincinnati Buds, as Trevor Bauer likes to call them on his vlog. Yep. Shout out to that. That's an awesome blog. I watched every single episode of that. It was awesome to kind of see behind the scenes. But the Braves definitely took a huge hit on the pitching this year. What is that ace's name? I forget.
Soroka,
yeah, the Canadian. How could I forget that? Soroka and Cole Hamels has hardly pitched for them all year. So they're getting Max Fried back. He's going to be starting game 1 probably. But the Reds, they got Bauer, Castillo, Gray, bang, bang, bang. And, I'll give credit to the Braves. They got a good offense, but, I mean, they're hitting a 3-headed monster in this series. And
their offense is disgusting.
It's really
Freddie
good.
Freeman.
He's probably going to win the MVP. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I agree. But, like, you can only go so long, like, against good pitching, right? I got the Reds in 3 games. I think the Reds pitching is just going to overmatch that offense. It'd be interesting to see, though. Bauer hasn't pitched in the playoffs in a couple of years. Gray hasn't pitched in the playoffs in a long time. I think back when he was with the Yankees, maybe.
Yeah.
And Castillo, I don't think he's pitched a game in the playoffs his whole career. So definitely some inexperience there. But, I mean, who do you start game 2? Like, this Ian Anderson could go. Do you throw a 24-year-old Kyle Wright game 3 if you get there? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, Gray has had his moments in the playoffs. Sonny Gray. Yeah. With the A's, he was.
That's right.
Like,
that's right.
Those wild card. No, I don't think they won the wild card. Was it division series? Was it wild card?
I think they lost to the Royals that year.
I don't know, but he pitched real well. I don't know. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Anyways, that was so long ago. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yankee Sonny Gray is not Red Sonny Gray.
No, 100%
no. Trevor Bauer's been on fire.
Yeah.
Max Fried's a really good pitcher, but if the Reds swing the sticks, then they're good. I think Mike Moustakas was one of the best pickups. One of the best pickups in the offseason because of this one reason.
Yep.
Mike Moustakas, to me, feels like the new Ben Zobrist. Like, wherever this man goes, he wins.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Ben Zobrist went to the Royals, went to the World Series. Went to the Cubs, went to the World Series. Went to the A's, they made it to the playoffs. So... And the Rays, he went to the World Series. So
Moustakas, he went to the Brewers and they made the playoffs, right? So
yeah,
didn't win, but he is just.
They were one game away from the Dodgers from going to the World Series.
That's true.
Just gotta get in the dance. I'm not saying it's because of Mike Moustakas they're gonna win the World Series. I'm just saying
he's gonna be a big part if they do, though.
Yeah,
100%.
So I mean I think the Braves are. I've been counting out the Braves all year as well, though. I mean
Mhm.
luckily for them, there's a lot of bad teams that get to play. I feel like they're the same boat as the Yankees, in the sense of they got to play a lot of bad teams this year, and the offense was enough to just outslug everybody. They really remind me of like those old Orioles teams that were making
Yeah.
the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's who they remind me of this year. So, um, I don't think it's going to be enough to make a World Series push, but I think this offseason they'll go out. Maybe they get a Stroman, Bauer, Odorizzi, somebody like that, and reshape the rotation. And I think they'll be a World Series team soon.
Yeah, no, they got such a young core. Alex Anthopoulos is in charge there. He knows what he's doing. I would 100% trust that man to make the adjustments that's needed. So we both got the Reds in 3 here, and then we're just gonna go through some news and notes here a little bit. Shane Bieber went 8-1 with a 1.63 ERA, 122 strikeouts, and he's the first pitcher to win the Triple Crown since 2006. Johan Santana. Um, what a fantastic year! It's honestly pretty rare to see a pitcher win the Triple Crown. This is awesome.
Well, it definitely helps in a 60-game season. I
Yeah,
mean,
for sure.
you know what? I love Shane Bieber. Um, I've told people, including you, before Shane Bieber was, what he is now. If I could choose a pitcher to build my team around a year and a half ago,
Hmm.
I told people Shane Bieber.
Yeah.
I what
And
the
people
moment
called you. I called you crazy. I was like, "What?" But he's good.
and just the first time I ever watched him pitch, I knew that guy was going to be special. But like I said, it was a 60-game season, so take what you want from it. I mean, who
It's
knows?
like 122 Ks. Man, that's a
Okay,
lot
dude,
of
it's
strikeouts.
it's hard. It's hard to do it over a 162.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. There's a
100%.
lot of these teams
I
in the
agree.
playoffs. There's
I
a lot of
agree.
these teams in the playoffs. If it was a 16, same bracket, same everything, and they played 162. I'm looking at multiple teams that would not be in it right now.
Yeah, the Marlins, um, the Blue
The
Jays,
Jays,
um,
you got. I don't even know if
that
the
would probably be
Cardinals
the
would be in it. Cardinals
yeah,
probably wouldn't be in it.
and
Astros. I don't
maybe
think the
even
Astros would be in it.
maybe the Padres because they probably don't go out and make all those moves.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think the Astros would be in it. I
Yeah,
mean, Verlander has Tommy John. That's
out
the
for the year.
Indian. The Indians might have not even made it either because they're just got a hot stretch at the end and got the wild card. So
Yeah,
I mean,
it's definitely something to look at. Bieber,
it's no knock on Shane Bieber. Congratulations. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that over 162, a lot can happen.
yeah,
And he had a good
and he stayed healthy
start to
too.
whatever it
That's the
was.
biggest thing. There's a lot of
Yeah.
pitchers that went down with injuries. Unfortunately, he stayed healthy. I think he's gonna win the MVP for sure. There's nobody in the AL. Maybe you give it to Jose Abreu, who had an
Yeah.
unbelievable season, but I think it'd be between those two. What do you think?
I mean, even his teammate Jose Ramirez has a
Oh
chance to
yeah,
win it.
for sure.
Um, Trout obviously is in the contention, even though Trout, you know, it's crazy. I mean, his numbers were like 290 with 17 bombs, and I'm like, should Trout win the MVP? And it's like, obviously those are good enough numbers to win it, but it doesn't seem like that's like a big Mike Trout year. But
Yeah.
obviously Trout will be top 5 still. Probably would be top 3 to be honest.
Yep.
Um, and then yeah, like you said, Jose Abreu.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, monster season. DJ LeMahieu. I
Yeah.
think he ended up batting like 360 or something.
Yeah, we're gonna touch on that now. I guess, like you mentioned, DJ LeMahieu becomes the first player in MLB history to win batting titles in both the AL and the NL. Of course, he won the batting title in his time with the Colorado Rockies, and he joins Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, and Lou Gehrig as the only Yankees to win a batting title. Pretty great company to be a part of if you're DJ LeMahieu. He's soon to be a free agent. Found the Yankees. I am re-signing this guy at all costs because he's the guy that hits at the top of the lineup. He stirs the drink. Yeah, of course, Stanton and Judge hit the home runs and Luke Voigt hits the home runs, but this guy gets all the rallies started, it seems, and he's just unbelievable at the top of that lineup.
Well, the Yankees have lots of. We already said it earlier.
Yeah.
Yankees have lots of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, Tanaka, Happ, Paxton, Gardner, LeMahieu, they're all
Yeah.
free agents.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I think DJ LeMahieu is going to get paid.
Oh yeah,
And
100%.
the Yankees might look at it and be like, though they have the money, we need to allocate our money in,
And they're
different
pitching.
areas of the
Yeah.
team. They
Yep.
still have Gleyber Torres that could go slide over and play second base. They could sign a shortstop. They could trade for Lindor. They could do a whole bunch of things.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if DJ LeMahieu will be back in the Bronx. Maybe he loves it there and he's like, yeah, I'll go again for 20 mil. But I could see him getting more than 20 mil.
Yeah.
Nick Castellanos got 20 mil, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did by the Reds.
So if Nick Castellanos is getting 20 mil, then DJ LeMahieu is at least a 25 mil.
And Castellanos really only got signed because of his bat. I mean, he doesn't have the best defense, and LeMahieu's got good defense, and he hits for average, right? So, man, me being a Blue Jays fan personally, I would love to see what,
bro.
What?
I know we're talking baseball right now. Doc Rivers just got fired by the Clippers.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. DJ LeMahieu.
Dude, the way that you said that is, I thought somebody died or something. I'm like, dude, what is this guy doing? But you want to touch it? We can talk about baseball or some basketball if you want a little bit.
I'm sorry to our listeners. I know you're here for baseball, but I'm a Lakers fan, so that's a little. I'm a little.
Well, I mean, the Lakers went out and got Paul George and
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard.
You mean the Clippers?
Yeah, sorry. The Clippers went out and got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and then they choked. They're up 3-1. And I mean, I guess Steve Ballmer wants to make that change, but damn, that's quite the shock to me. Going back to
can't wait to get on Twitter and see.
What were we talking about, DJ? We're not about DJ.
Yeah, sorry, DJ.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, like I was saying, me personally being a Blue Jays fan, I would love to see him gone from the AL East because he torches my Blue Jays, and I'm just like, God, like, can this guy just get out of the AL East? But another batting title champ, Juan Soto, wins the NL batting title, the youngest player to ever win a batting title. A guy that had COVID at the beginning of the season, and by the end of it, 60-game season, albeit, wins a batting title. Just an unbelievable season by this kid.
Yeah, I mean, he's a special talent. Obviously, the Nationals knew if they got rid of Harper, they got rid of Rendon, they still had Juan Soto, and they still have Trey Turner. So the Nationals definitely have the potential to come back next season with a reboot, maybe add some offense to that team, go a little bit younger. And DJ LeMahieu would fit perfect with the Nationals. You look at that. Nationals definitely have a chance to come back and just be something special again. But congrats to Juan Soto. He's going to be a great player in this game for a long time. And the Nationals just seem to always have superstars and just have, one set up for each, at least in the past 5 years,
Yeah, so we'll end the episode with a little Angels talk. Billy Eppler fired from the Angels after 4 seasons. I kind of said to you, maybe they'll give him 1 more year, but you were adamant. You said, no, he's got to get fired. If they miss the playoffs, he's got to go. And they laid the hammer on him. He got fired. What's your overall thought, and what was your reaction to him being fired?
I wasn't surprised. Something that wasn't reported was they actually gave him a 1-year extension this past summer during the lockout or whatever you want to call it when they were doing negotiations.
Oh, really?
They actually gave him a extension that nobody knew about. And
they fired him with 1 year left on his deal?
Yeah, so now they're gonna pay 2 managers and 2 GMs going into next year. They're still paying Brad Osmus.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna pay Billy Eppler. So
what do you think of the biggest?
That was interesting to me that they actually extended him and nobody knew about it.
Yeah,
I found that out yesterday. Beat reporters actually found that out yesterday as well. They kind of kept it under the wraps, but overall, his tenure, he bargain shopped for relievers and some worked and some didn't, but also bargain shopped for starters, and majority of them didn't work out. So I don't know if that's an ownership thing or if that's a GM thing.
So what do you think the biggest hurdle for this new GMs that comes in? What do you think it's going to be? It's got to be to get a high caliber starting pitcher, is it not?
Yes. I think the biggest hurdle for the next GM, and we've heard Dave Dombrowski's name already be rumored.
What do you think about that?
Dave Dombrowski creates championship teams.
He does.
But he destroys farm systems.
Oh, and the Angels have just been building their farm system back up, right?
Yeah. So it would be extremely, interesting.
Like if you win and you sell the farm, okay. I mean, as a fan, you'd be kind of okay at that, but down the road, you'd be like, man.
Yeah. Well, it's basically you're going to give Mike Trout 5 years in the World Series in his prime. In the last 5 years,
they're just going to suck.
They're going to suck again.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Dave Dombrowski, well, at least through his track record, you look at the Tigers.
Yeah.
They went to the World Series. They lost.
They went to the World Series twice. Or didn't
they?
Maybe once.
No, I believe with him only one time.
Okay.
The Red Sox went with him twice and won twice. So he has 2 rings. He went to a World Series 3 times in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
2 different organizations. So, but the thing about the Red Sox, they're willing to go over the luxury tax.
Yeah.
The Angels owner Artie Moreno. So you look at all these teams, and a lot like most of these teams. Let's just use the Dodgers, for example. The Dodgers have 15 different owners.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson is the face owner. They really have 15 partnered owners. The Angels have 1, Artie Moreno. So people are like, why don't the Angels do this and that? Well, it's because only one guy's money is allocated in the team. And only that one guy makes decisions. It's not just, we have 15 billionaires, throw as much money as you can at the luxury tax to see what happens.
For sure. Absolutely.
And Artie Moreno likes to play like he is, he is a guy that has all this money to, he acts like he has 14 other owners with him, but he doesn't go over that luxury tax. You know what I'm saying? So, he's a hurdle himself, I would say at this point.
They're building that brand new complex right by the stadium too. That should be. He's
gonna make tons of money off that.
That should be awesome. I mean, they're gonna have shopping centers, probably a hotel down there, lots of restaurants. That'd be really cool attraction to go to if you're going to a ball game.
Well, yeah, I don't think the Angels are not a premier destination. I mean, we've seen big time free agents sign with the Angels. Albert, Albert, Josh Hamilton, CJ, Anthony Rendon. Even before that, veteran players, Zach Cozart, Ian Kinsler, Jonathan Lucroy, Justin Upton, Mike Trout decided to stay, Ohtani, so I don't think it's like a destination thing. I think it's just right now you have $500 million allocated into Rendon and Trout, and you need the young pitching that they've built up: Patrick Sandoval, Griffin Canning, Jaime Barria, Jose Suarez, even he's starting to get older now, but those guys need to at some point grow up and be good, right? So, you might just not have time to let them grow, though. You need to get those vets that are just going to get it done. Like I said, I think that Marcus Stroman, Trevor Bauer, Jake Odorizzi, one of those guys has to be on the Angels next season.
Yeah, I mean, Trevor Bauer would be perfect, and you could be able to watch the vlogs too.
Yeah, but going back to Billy Eppler, looking at his tenure, brought in Simmons, brought in Ohtani, re-signed Trout, brought in Rendon. So there's 4 big acquisitions right there, or re-sign and a reacquisition.
Like if you had to look back, would you rather the Angels signed Garrett Cole over Rendon?
In the long term?
Or
now?
I guess both. Or would it be a different answer?
I think now I would want Garrett Cole, but in the long term I want Anthony Rendon.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at their lineup, really now all they need is pitching. But they've only needed pitching for 6 years now, so
yeah.
But is it like I like I was saying, is it an ownership issue or is it a GM issue?
Mm-hmm.
Because if the owner doesn't want to spend money on pitching,
You can't,
how is the GM gonna get pitching?
the GM's hands are tied. I mean, if that's the case,
And when you're
right?
giving $10 million to Julio Teheran and Matt Harvey back-to-back years, but you didn't want to give $14 million to I know he's hurt this year, but say it worked out, Cole Hamels,
Yeah.
okay, just spend the $4 extra million and go get a guy like Cole Hamels and not Matt Harvey, Trevor Cahill, Ricky Nolasco. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, Tehran, he only had like 7 starts, so I can't really.
And he had COVID too. It's tough.
I can't really be like mad about the Tehran, but we did give him $10 million, and you could have got somebody else for a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's an ownership issue or just a GM issue, and Billy Eppler was just a guy that likes to gamble and flip the coin and see what happens. Make sure that maybe this guy's gonna come back and be his old self, and he's gambled that maybe 10 times. If I pulled up the list of all his acquisitions, you'd be like
trying to catch lightning in a bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, but even going back, like even Depoto, like when Depoto was here, actually was Tim Lincecum Eppler or was it
I might have been a Depoto.
Depoto.
I think it was Depoto. At the end of Depoto's tenure, I think that was.
No.
No?
I think it was 16, so that might have been first year Eppler.
Huh. Honestly, I'll be honest. I don't really remember Tim Lincecum in an Angels uniform. I really don't.
Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Like, how many games did he pitch for you guys?
It was like 6. The first game he ever pitched with the Angels uniform, he looked like Tim Lincecum against the A's. After that, he looked like he looked like a single A starter.
I'm gonna have to go on YouTube and look up Tim Lincecum Angels highlights.
Just real quick, let's see if I can pick this up real quick.
Okay.
Billy Eppler acquisitions.
I mean, he went out and got Upton in a trade. That was a good one, and then he restructured his contract. But I don't know. Like he just didn't do enough to get the job done, right? I mean,
okay.
You got it.
This is just his. So he's been there since 2015. So yeah, Lincecum was. This is just trades, no signings. Okay. First thing he did, okay, acquired Andrelton Simmons for Newcomb and Ibar.
It's a good trade. It's a good move.
Good trade. One for one. Okay. Then we get Yunel Escobar for Trevor Gott. Yunel Escobar isn't in the league anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And Trevor Gott's the young reliever, hard-throwing reliever that pitches a lot for the Giants, though he didn't have a great year. Whatever. Okay, 2016. Acquired Brendan Ryan from the Nationals for cash considerations. Whatever, dump move. Chacin from the Braves. He traded Joe Smith to get a prospect. Traded Ricky Nolasco and Alex Meyer from the Twins for Hector Santiago. Wow, impact move. Acquired Eric Manoah from the Mets for Fernando Salas. Acquired Cameron Maben for Victor Alcantara. That was a win. Yeah. Danny Espinosa, he batted like 150 for us. For Austin Adams, who's a reliever now. Martin Maldonado for he traded for Martin Maldonado for Jet Bandy. Whatever, I guess we won that one. David Hernandez, good pickup. Luis Madero, don't know him. Justin Upton for Grayson Long and Elvin Rodriguez. You can say whatever you want about that one.
Yeah.
Basically, they got Felix Pena. That was a win. Jim Johnson, dump. Ian Kinsler wasn't very good. They got Rengifo for C.J. Cron.
That's a good trade.
So far C.J. Cron's been the better player, though.
Yeah. He had not career-ending, season-ending injury this year.
They got Patrick Sandoval for Martin Maldonado. I feel like it's when he's trying to get these impact players, it doesn't work out. But when he's trying to flip those, like Jason Castro,
yeah,
or if he's trying to flip those vets, he does a good job of building back up the farm.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to I'm building a team for this season, he doesn't make the best acquisitions. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Stop there, but I mean,
I can talk all day about that guy.
Yeah, Chris Stratton, Dylan Peters, Bundy was a good trade. I don't know. I liked Billy. I was on the Billy Eppler train for a long time.
Well, he came over from the Cubs, right?
Yeah, Yankees.
Oh yeah, that's right.
GM to Cashman. Yeah. So when the alert comes on, at that point, I'm like,
ooh,
I'm like 16 years old.
Yeah.
When the alert comes on, I'm like,
Yankees assistant GM. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, let's go, but it just didn't work out. It is what it is. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not gonna put all the blame on Billy Eppler because I'm sure there's an ownership issue there too. Obviously, Artie Moreno gave up on Jock Peterson and Ross Stripling for Rengifo. So
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I guess we'll end there with that. Let's just hope that the Angels can get Mike Trout to the playoffs.
Yeah, just real quick, who is your World Series prediction?
White Sox, Dodgers over White Sox in 5 games.
Really? You got the White Sox going all the way. Okay, you kind of hinted at that could be a possibility earlier in the episode. I'm going to go with the Athletics and the Dodgers. I'm going to pick the Dodgers in 6 games. I think the Athletics finally get over that hump, get to the World Series. I just think that the Dodgers will be too much of a hurdle for them to get over, but we're just going to end the episode like we do every single one. We have launched our website. We're looking for writers. Hit us up. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're in the process of starting up a Snapchat, so you'll find us on there real soon. If you want to write for us, if you want to write about your favorite player, your favorite team, hit us up. We'll get you on board. Appreciate you guys for listening, and have a good weekend.
Take care, guys. Go Lakers.